I'm gonna tell the story about how I took acid by myself at 15 years old and went and told my mom. Today, I'm just gonna do a little piercing right here. I don't have my septum pierced anymore because it decayed the cartilage in my septum. Someone was using my account. Oh, and if you're wondering, about getting your cartilage pierced, if it ever heals and stops hurting, do not take LSD. Needless to say, all of those amazing experiences made me think that I would be able to take LSD at my home alone. By myself. LSD by myself. Everyone around me was telling me not to do it. Whew. They honestly weren't that mad. Happy December! So it's December now, it's December 1st, and we're gonna do a piercing to celebrate. I got Ozzy to bed. This is Adam's 5th night on night shift, and I'm here alone. It's 9 o'clock at night, and I'm here alone, so I don't know what to do with myself. And when I posted my video this morning, I decided I'm gonna do Vlogmas. It's a coincidence that I posted on December 1st, so I was just like, you know what? Let me see how many days of Vlogmas I can do. I also stole Adam's shirt out of the closet. Well, I did not steal it. Well,
I stole it, but
I washed it and I put it away, and I literally do all the clothes. Not me sitting here arguing with myself. I'm wearing his shirt. That's all I needed to say. I'm just on one right now. I'm very nervous if you cannot tell. So we're gonna do a piercing, and I'm also gonna take some earrings out and change some, and we're gonna just tell some stories real quick. But so I have, it's hard to see because of the lighting. I have 2 cartilage, a conch, and my first hole in this one. You guys know I used to have literally every single place in my ear pierced. Like, I had my industrial, I had both tragus, I had everything. I had a double conch. I'm gonna have trouble sleeping tonight, if you cannot tell. This is literally just because I took caffeine at noon instead of 7 in the morning like I usually take it. But I have my double cartilage on this ear and then my first hole, so nothing fancy. I'm gonna take out my first holes because these are like curved earrings. They're a little lower than I would want, if you can't see that. They're a little lower than I would want. So I'm gonna take them out, let them heal, and I'm gonna pierce above them and then do my second. But for now, today, I'm just gonna do a little piercing right here, and I'm gonna switch out my bottom cartilage ones. I'm gonna put a septum ring in one of my bottom cartilage, and then on the other ear, my bottom cartilage. This was also a septum ring that I got 3 years ago when I was in active addiction, but I don't have my septum pierced anymore because it decayed the cartilage in my septum. I don't think I've really talked about that, but my nose hurts every time I touch it. There's a big hole in my septum cartilage. The skin is still there and attached, but the cartilage underneath, it fits a finger. So yeah, when I feel around now, there's I never got an infection from the septum ring, so the only thing that makes sense to me is there's not really a sweet spot where you're supposed to pierce your septum. My nose is pretty small, so I feel like I just forced it, and I should have never had one because I pierced it myself, and I definitely pierced it too close to the hole because the hole in my cartilage is around where my septum ring used to be. The scar for my septum ring, why do I keep grabbing my nose? I just keep feeling the hole. It hurts. The scar where my septum ring used to be is inside of the hole now. It rose up in there. So I feel like I just wasn't supposed to have a septum ring. I have this little bat. I'm trying to find out how to show you. This little dangly pearl bat that moves around. I'm gonna put in my other ear. And then I'm just gonna pierce right here in the middle. I had one right there before, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm not really the biggest fan of face piercings on myself anymore. The only thing I want is my septum, and I can't have it, so it's kind of just you know what, fuck it then. I just don't want any piercings on my face then. But I do like to decorate my ears because I do have pretty big ears and they kind of stick out. It doesn't bother me at all. Now that my son is a year and a half, if this is the first video you're watching of me, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and my son has my ears. Adam, my boyfriend, who we live with, obviously, his ears like go in and like against his head, and I wish my ears did that. No, my ears stick out. But my son has my ears, and it like now I just do not care. I don't mind my ears anymore, like at all whatsoever. It's funny how that works. So I'm gonna switch these earrings first before I mess with my ear and make it upset. I already washed my ear that I'm gonna pierce. So first, we're gonna tell a story. Let me spit my gum out, that's like rude. I'm gonna tell the story about how I took acid by myself at 15 years old and went and told my mom because I was freaking out. Like 30 minutes after I dropped the full double dose tab by myself. Ah! Okay, anyway, I have my YouTube hooked up to my TV, my phone, my iPad. So I see my history come up on the TV, and I noticed that in my music section, I'm starting to have like Mexican rap pop up, which I don't give a fuck, but I've never listened to that before. I've never listened to Mexican rap. I've been confused for the past few months. I was like, is Adam looking this up? Like, what the fuck? I was just really confused. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I can go in and see like who's using my account. Not who, but like where it's being used, what device. There's one in my little bat, but not who's using it, but you know, like where it's being used. Because I live in Dayton, Ohio, so it shows that my account, like my phone, my iPad, my old phone, and my TV. And then there was another TV that was shown, and it's in Amarillo, Texas. And wow, I can't get this off. I might have to grab a different septum ring. Okay, I just grabbed a different one. And I don't care about washing it because I've had my cartilage pierced since I was 12. So it's been 8 years. I'm fine, I don't have to clean it. But I noticed that there was a TV, and I'm signed in Amarillo, Texas, and if you remember, on my road trip to California, me, my boyfriend, and my son, when he was 10 months old, so back in May, we went on a trip to California. We drove from Ohio to California, which was, I think, 32 hours from here to there, drive, so it took 2 days. I love a road trip though, so I don't even care. I'm down for whatever. We stopped at a hotel on the way there and the way back, and guess where it was? Amarillo. And I remembered that I connected my phone to the TV so we could watch movies from my YouTube. And I realized that I never signed out. So everyone who's been staying in Amarillo, Texas over the past, I don't know, 6 months? Wait, 6 months. Over the past 6 months has been using my YouTube account, and it made so much sense on why there would be like Mexican music and stuff popping up, because it's freaking Texas, obviously. I'm not even mad though. Someone was using my account. I've been freaking out about it for months, but have never went to check, and now the TV is disconnected, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. I switched the earrings. My ears are red just because I was fucking with it. Oh, and if you're wondering like about getting your cartilage pierced, if it ever heals and stops hurting, I can yank my ear with the piercing. It's been 8 years. It heals, I can sleep on it. It does not hurt anymore. The top ones have been pierced since I was 14. Same thing with those. And I did the top ones myself with a sewing needle. This is the 100th time I've repeated that because I literally cannot say it right. A YouTube video popped up yesterday in my account, and it said 10 most dangerous cities in Ohio, and it had like over 1 million views, so I watched it. I mean, not that it had to have that. I watch smaller YouTubers, but it was intriguing to me, so I clicked on it. And where I live in East Dayton. I can see the city from my street. So the video I watched was wrong. Shocker. We're actually, as of 2023, 5th or 6th. I hear gunshots all the time. It gets worse. Now that I've lived here for 3 years, it gets way worse in the winter. But we're not even going to talk about that. I just keep rambling.
Someone told me to shut up.
This is the first night I'm actually enjoying myself. Now that Adam's doing graveyard shift, I've been pretty lonely and sad for the last few nights because I don't have anyone to talk to. I had to put my son to bed and he's been sick. So now that he's not sick anymore and I don't have to worry and I'm kind of getting more used to this, I'm just not used to being home alone at night. And I'll put in I filmed like 2 small clips over the past few days on how I feel about this. And I'll put those in at the end in case no one wants to watch them, but it's been a pretty tough transition, I'm not gonna lie. There we go. I'm just using a ballpoint pen and I honestly don't really care where it is. Okay, I see where it was. So I'm gonna start telling the story now about how I took acid and did it by myself. Okay, so where I was 15, I think the last time I took acid was on my 16th birthday. I took acid 10 different times over a 3-month period. The first time I took acid was at school and me and Cheyenne shared half a tab. She had taken it before me and kind of like, she really wanted to take it with me because I was her person. I get it. She just would tell me how amazing it was and how fun and just like hyped it up. And then when I took it at school for the first time, when she brought that tab and we split it in half, that shit was fucking crazy. I can laugh about this now because this is literally insane saying this out loud. And I would just get high in between every single fucking class. I would just sleep and get high. I fell asleep in the bathroom at school before. Like, of course I took acid at school. I mean, while I just paint, go on hikes, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, I just like tweak about my kids' nutrition every day. It's just funny. I'm not like saying this and laughing to be proud because I'm not proud. It's just fucking insane looking back on this.
It's fucking insane.
Like if my kids, karma's gonna be a bitch. I'm not proud, I'm just reminiscing because I have not touched a drug in almost 3 years. I have not touched acid in almost 5 years. So I don't know, every time I took it was with Cheyenne except this time, and I think the second time I took it actually. And that was a very traumatizing experience. It was with a guy. So the first time I took acid was at school. Pretty sure I've said this on my channel before. It was like I split half a tab with Cheyenne and we just had the best day at school together. And then I just took it. I was just so obsessed with it. The high, I gotta think about this for a minute. I have not taken acid in so long. When you take it, you don't feel it immediately, like after like 10 seconds like you do with weed or with like other things. It's like you have to have a come up. I don't know, I'm gonna describe it the best I can because again, I have not taken it in almost 5 years and I have been through hell and back since then, so my memory's a little off. I'm doing the best I can. But there's a come up and then you just start fucking dying laughing. Like for me and Cheyenne, it affected us so, like the exact same. I've heard of some people having ego death and that's fucking terrifying. But with me and Cheyenne, we would know we were feeling it when we literally were snotting out of our nose because we were laughing so hard. And that's how it was for like 10 hours after that. Like I specifically remember the next morning when I was starting to sober up, when I would look in the mirror at myself, I would just like be so out of it because all I remember and all that was like ingrained into my brain because my brain was just chemically fucked with, and I've been staring at Cheyenne for 10 hours just scream laughing, and we would get stuck in a loop. That happened every single time that we took acid together. We would get stuck in the same fucking loop and get spun around, and everything would loop back, even if it was the moon and fucking, I don't even, Britney Spears and like dinosaurs. Like, I don't care what it was. It would all like loop around, and we would just be like brain fucked all night.
I think this is the perfect place to add in that LSD affects everyone different. And there's like multiple, so you come up and then there's a peak and then you start to come down. But that's all within like a 10 to 14 hour window. LSD can be pretty strong for like the first 10 hours, and it does affect every single person different, and it can leave you with long-lasting effects for the rest of your life. So I recommend to not take it for everyone. Just do not take it.
It can take anywhere
from 20 to 90 minutes for your come up to happen. And for me, the peak only ever lasted for like 2 hours, maybe 3, and then you just gradually come down. And I remember always being so self-aware when I was starting to come down off of the peak. LSD is such an unexplainable experience if you've never taken it, but I don't recommend taking it. Not to mention what people call the afterglow of taking LSD. And I feel like most people say that it can last up to 24 hours because even when you're fully off of it and more coherent and able to function properly, you still have side effects, and you do feel high for a little while after, and that can even last longer. I remember having vision problems and side effects from LSD for months after taking it, but I also did take it a lot of times in such a short period of time.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. When I would look in the mirror, it was not me. Cheyenne was me. Like, her face looked more normal to me than my own face. And I remember we had went to a Panera one time after when we took it at her house. I don't know how her poor father did not know, because he literally screamed at us so many times because we just would not shut the fuck up. He just kept screaming at us to stop laughing. We would watch the like trippy videos and put Christmas lights on, and we would go outside to her playground, and we took it at my house a few times too, and we swam on acid. But that's not even what we're talking about right now. All of that is just like leading up to what I'm gonna tell you. I will never, ever, 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 ever in a million years ever take acid or any psychedelic again. Ever. I'm never gonna do that again. I don't think my brain could handle it now. Acid really fucked my brain up. This is not telling you to go take acid, because my brain was permanently altered from then on. And when I started taking acid is when my BPD just fucking declined severely. I was already having symptoms of it before, but the dissociation, it made me start wanting other drugs. Like, it was so bad. Do not take acid. You taking it once, like, people have had heart attacks and died on acid. You are out of your mind. And if you don't have the right people around you trip sitting you, which me and Cheyenne usually did, or my brother would be home, or we would just be home because we were minors where there were parents, like, you could run out and get hit by a car, you could jump off a bridge, you could drown. Like, you don't know what you're gonna do because your mind is so fucking altered. Do not take acid. Like, do not take LSD. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. Don't take LSD. Okay, thank you.
You're gonna be grounded if you take it.
Am I gonna do the fucking piercing or not? Like, goddamn. It did not matter where we took it. As long as we had each other, that was our safe place. Like, we didn't need to be in a safe place per se. Like, if we had each other, we were fine. Genuinely. Needless to say, all of those amazing experiences made me think that I would be able to take LSD at my home alone. By myself. LSD by myself. A like 12 to 16 hour trip. But I usually can't sleep for like 24 hours after I take LSD. Everyone around me was telling me not to do it. Cheyenne was telling me not to do it. Everyone was telling me not to do it. But I had LSD, and I have videos and pictures from that night that I can add in, but I was a minor, so I'm gonna have to like censor out the tap on my tongue and stuff.
You dumbass bitch. Don't forget where you fucking put your acid. You put it in a post-it note. You're about to smoke weed, you're gonna fucking forget. You put it.
But it is me, so I mean, I can't really be like exploiting myself. I don't know how I got the tab this time. I did buy it myself, and I had weed, and I had it hidden for a while in a book, I think. You know, the experience wasn't like too traumatizing though, because I literally took acid multiple times after this. So I ended up taking it, and as soon as it dissolved, I started having an absolute panic attack because I was just like, oh crap, what did I just do? I was absolutely freaking out. I was watching videos on how to kill the trip, and I couldn't. I didn't have access to anything that could kill the trip. And I started like, my heart was pounding. I bit my fingers like down. I bite the skin around my fingernails, and I bit that down so far that they were all just bleeding. Not like gushing blood, but they were bleeding, and they were so painful the next day. I remember that. I was texting people. I was like, I'm gonna tell my mom I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go tell my mom.
I need to tell my mom.
She's gonna know. I'm gonna go tell my mom. And everyone was like, don't do that. Don't do that. Because I was 15. Like, what the fuck would you do? Like, what would your parents have done if you came up to them and were like, Mom, I'm on acid? But that's basically how it went. And she started losing her shit. I mean, what is my mom supposed to do when I tell her I'm on acid? She started losing her shit. And my stepdad was actually, I literally cannot see the mark. As I think both of them have taken acid before. I don't want to fucking hear it.
I don't want to hear it.
But my stepdad calmed my mom down. Was just like, you are making things worse. You are making her freak the fuck out. And they took my phone. Of course. I would have done the exact same thing. I don't even want my 15-year-old to have a phone. But realistically, Ozzy will probably have a phone. But they did not even want me to. They took it. They took my phone immediately. And I think they were just trying to figure out where I got it and how I got it. And she said that I wasn't going to have a phone again for a while. And of course, I ended up getting one. And I ended up taking acid more and then trying more drugs. But she did freak out. And after that, I spent the rest of the night with them. I honestly think the clamps aren't gonna work. I might just hold my ear out. Yeah, after she calmed down, like it was literally like late at night. I'm pretty sure it was a school night. And she was just like making dinner, and I walked out there. Oh my god, from her perspective, imagine you're just like a mom, like you were a single mom of 3 kids. Like you finally found your husband, your daughter, you have a daughter and a son that live with you. Your daughter is 15 years old and comes in, you're just cooking dinner, it's like a school night, and she's like, Mom, I'm on acid. Okay, but yeah, they just had me spend the rest of the night. They just had me spend the fucking rest of the night on the couch with them so they could watch me and like make sure I wasn't gonna hurt myself or like panic. And we just like ate dinner and we watched a movie, and they kept fucking with me. They honestly weren't that mad. Like after the initial shock, she really was not mad at me. And they just kept fucking with me and just like, ooh, and like just jumping at me and like asking me how I was doing or how hard I was tripping, and they honestly thought it was funny.
Just to be clear, that's how I perceived it in the moment. She could have been seething and just not have been showing it, but that's just how I perceived it.
After that, I took acid again because that's a time in parenting where that needs to be like a learning experience. Like, you don't need to lose your shit on your kid. You need to like hope that deters them from doing it again, but it didn't. That was only the beginning. Piercing's done. I lived a lot of years when I was younger, to the point where I'm 20 years old and I have no desire to go out and party or go out to a bar. I want my first legal drink. I don't even drink, it gives me really bad kidney pain. I have blood on my fingers, but I want my first legal drink to be on my 21st birthday. I want me, my son Ozzy, and I want Adam to go out to lunch or like dinner or something, and I'll get my first legal drink there and just have like a drink, and I'll probably have it with you guys because you guys have been with me since I was literally 16 years old, a baby. Oh, I'm doing a piercing again with you. I didn't even think about that. That's what I started my channel doing, was piercings. Those are my first videos. And now I'm doing a piercing with you guys at 20, almost 21. That's so crazy. This is like the most risky thing I've done in a long time. I have not done something this risky in a while. I think the last risky thing I did was the snake bite piercing. The last risky thing I really did was the snake bite piercings that I did on this channel, or the bridge piercing. But yeah, I don't do anything. I'm just happy weed's legal. And every time I drink, I get severe kidney pain and side pain every time I have one drink, and it makes me so like, just so like, I'm in so much pain after I drink. And weed does not do that. Thank you guys so much for spending some of your time with me, spending some of your day with me, and just like listening to all the crazy shit that I went through and have done to myself. I took that tab. I decided to take it by myself. No one fucking did that to me. I did that to myself. Wow, that's crazy. It's even more crazy that I took my first tab ever, just first anything at school. Like, that's crazy. If I think of anything else, I'll add it in, but I think that's it. Was that crazy enough for you? Me and Cheyenne went through a lot together. That was only like, those were the good memories. Those weren't even the traumatic ones. I can't even remember everything because it was so long ago, and it makes me sad that time is just going so fast. I love my new piercings. Oh, my new piercing and the new little earrings. Okay, bye.